Hey, my name is Alex Sturgeon. Good morning, or whenever you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening. I chose Daniel Driesbach's Reading the Bible with the Founding Fathers. I was really drawn to this title because I've always been interested to see how genuine the Founding Fathers were in their interactions and their beliefs with God and reading the Bible. So I chose chapter 4, titled The Bible in the Political Discourse of the American Founding. I really enjoyed this. I feel as if he does a great job to point out and draw out how genuine the founding fathers really felt about God and really felt about the Bible. So I'd really love to show you what I found. Driesbach starts off this chapter with a pretty long quote, and I'd like to read it to you just to give you an idea of where we're going. He said, "The Bible was used, for example, to enrich a common language and cultural vocabulary through distinctively biblical allusions, phrases, figure of speech, and the like, to enhance the power and weight and rhetoric through its identification with a venerated sacred text, to identify and define normative standards and transcendent rules for ordering and judging public life, and to gain insight into the character and design of God, especially as they pertain to his dealings with men and nations." Now, Driesbach finishes this quote by quoting 2 Timothy 3:16. He says, "All scripture is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in the righteousness." Now, Driesbach goes on to talk about this a little bit more, but really he's already set up where he's going next. He breaks down all of this into five categories, and those five categories are: 1, to enrich common language; 2, to enhance the power and weight of rhetoric; 3, to identify and define standards; 4, to illuminate the role of providence; and 5, reveal the character and design of God. And he takes those five categories and he really drills down into them. And for the sake of time, I'm going to go through them and give you a brief overview of what he really gets at here. So with the first one, the common language, he's really trying to make it clear that the founding fathers were very aware that the Bible really was the common thing that united all American people. People from different countries, people from different places, all throughout Europe, they're all coming together and they're united under the commonality of God and the Bible. And they really, Driesbach really is trying to show to us and say to us in this first part that the founding fathers knew this and they were willing and wanted to relate to the common people by doing so. Number 2, the power enhancing the power of the rhetoric. I don't really love this one because I feel like it somewhat hinted at the cheapening of the founding fathers' words by using this common Christian lingo, as we would call it today. I mean, it does make sense, but I don't really enjoy it. Number 3, identifying the standards. They were using the Bible and its ideas of morality and the ideas of laws and governing. They were using those to base their decisions on how the future of America would be run. And that was their standard. They were trying to identify the standards. They were starting over new with a new country, and Driesbach was making it clear, that they were using the Bible to define their standards. Now, 4, I think, is the most important, and based on the readings that we've done and the readings of things, this idea that keeps coming up, and this idea of providence. So the significance of providence in the American life. Driesbach really hits home with a bunch of quotes from the founding fathers talking about how God has delivered this nation unto us. It's our responsibility to take care of it. And there's all this talk of providence. The thing I found most interesting is the founding fathers' connection to, or the connection the founding fathers were making to America and the children of Israel. Matter of fact, it talks about how Jefferson wanted to make the seal of America, the children of Israel being guided through the desert by the pillar of smoke. That is how significant that was to Thomas Jefferson. And for a Christian country, and not to say that the Old Testament does not play a role in Christianity, I think it's very important to it. They make a lot of references to the Old Testament in Israel, not necessarily to Jesus as Jesus, but to Israel and the children of Israel. Now, number 5, I really enjoyed the most because it broke it down to make it seem to make the founding fathers seem more relatable. I think in America we have a justifiably good reasoning to put the founding fathers on a pedestal, but it really gets at the fact that at the end of the day, they were also just reading the Bible to understand and hoping to reveal new character traits of God and trying to figure that out. So I've gone way too long, but I thank you for your time and I look forward to your comments. Thank you very much.